Janet.
Good morning.
Got, like I said, I got my head on a swivel right now. I'm ready for anything. The first 6 signs here as far as what to expect this week.
But I have good news for people in general, just overall. The last 3 weeks, Mercury, the planet of communication, was retrograde. And then bound to be done over again and bound to be repeated, and miscommunication and misunderstandings and computers breaking, banks making mistakes, all kind of paperwork errors. Well, that just ended. Oh. So no matter what, the next 90 days have got to be better than the last 3 weeks for all of the signs, not just for you.
Okay.
But everybody has gone through that kind of stuff. So I'm really happy that's direct. And then the second thing is Mars, the planet of ego-oriented projection, has changed signs. It's gotten out of the sign of Taurus, which has been nothing but make you mad for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
When Mars is in your sign, it's like everybody's yelling at you, everybody's pointing at you, and anything that can go wrong will. So for you, specifically, things get a lot better starting today.
Oh, thank goodness.
I know, but for the rest of the signs, maybe not so much. For Aries, the sign, and we're going to do the first 6 and then the second 6. For Aries, Mars has gone from their second house of money, where they've spent a boatload of money, into their third house of day-to-day living. And so there's going to be upsets, changes, developments, delays. Over the next 6 weeks or so, they're going to be refining their daily living to something that they can manage. So, but don't speed, because you're not going to find a sympathetic cop if you're an Aries. Not going to happen. For Tauruses, Mars is leaving their sign after being there for 6 weeks. So they are not mad anymore. Things are going to smooth out for them, be a little bit easier for them in everything, partnerships, relationships, personally. That's the good news. The bad news is they're going to spend a boatload of money over the next 6 weeks or so fixing all of the I know.
This is
sounds about right.
This is usually how I get thrown out of a studio.
Car breaks down, computer takes a dump, this, that, and the other.
It's not like, ooh, it's $1 million, but it's nickels and dimes. Every time you turn around, it's $50 here, $100 there for like 6 weeks till you get all that stuff squared away. For Geminis, Mars is in their sign, and everything that happened to Taurus is going to happen to Geminis now. And so when Mars is in your sign, everybody yells at you, everybody points at you, and yeah, you like to have a lot of activity going on. And the thing about Gemini is that they're going to do their battle with their mouth, and they're not going to back down. So partnerships, there's going to be trouble in that area with them, one-to-one relationships, and they're going to be the Robert Conrads of the Zodiac going, yeah, knock this off my shoulder, give it a shot. Great. For Cancers, it's going to, Mars, this is a very difficult position. Every 22 months or so, Cancers end up, all signs do, but when Mars is behind your sign, you end up doing yourself in. It's the kind of thing where you don't need a worst enemy as long as you're alive.
Shoot your own foot?
You shoot yourself in your own foot, exactly. But the good thing about that is that you find out who is really your friend and who isn't your friend, who's on your side and who isn't on your side. So I guess that's good to know amid all the pain.
So you have a tendency to do that, so that means you can kind of look out for that and try not to
try not to do that this time. Yes. And don't take everything personally. That's the other big thing with that. For Leos, you go, well, what about me? It's like, things are great for Leos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really is. It's out of their 10th house of career and public standing. It's into their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. Good time to start a band. Good time to get a group together.
All right.
And to count, Leos can count on their male friends and colleagues to help them out. Let the group will actually work to give the Leo what the Leo wants, which is pretty cool, actually, if you think about it.
You need some help getting some stuff out of storage. Everybody's got a truck out there.
There you go. Also expect blasts from your romantic past calling to see if you're still mad.
Oh,
and a lot of times you are, but every now and then you're not. You'll forget that you really was crazy.
Wait till Tuesday.
That's right. And then for Virgos, it's in the 10th house of career and public standing. Every 22 months, Virgos try to reinvent themselves. Virgos like to do a job once and get paid for it twice, but of course, who doesn't? But Virgos actually try to do that. So it's a matter of expanding their professional life a bit, but they have to be really careful not to expand too far that they run into somebody else's rights and freedoms, because you can make a lot of enemies while you're climbing over people to get to the top. So tomorrow's news today with Mars in Gemini for the next 6 weeks for the first 6 signs of the Zodiac. The second 6 with Mars going into Gemini for the next 6 weeks. And everybody can look back 22 months and see similar energy going on now that was going on then.
All cyclical.
Yeah, because it's a repeatable kind of thing. That's what makes it predictable. So you can look in your own charts and go, what happened then? And then you can figure out what's going to go on now. So, but for Libras, this is great energy for Libras. This is for legal matters, educational matters, important.
This week?
Yep, for the next 6 weeks for Libra, not just starting out, but the law's on their side. And when the law's on your side, you want to go ahead and use it, because it doesn't happen very often. So legal, educational matters, long distance travel, all pop up.
Taxes coming up.
Yeah, and money back, which would be a nice thing too. Exactly. For Scorpios, it's about other people's resources. This is the type of thing where Scorpios are trying to make more money than they have any time in the last 12 years.
Okay.
And so they're going to be looking at investments. They've been looking at some of the last 4 weeks or so, but now they're ready to pull the trigger on it because they'll have enough information to do
You've
it.
been eyeballing it.
Yeah, and just remember, you don't get something for nothing. That's the kind of thing there, because you could be conned by that. But it's other people's money flowing your way to the Scorpio. For Sagittarians, everybody, their partners, everybody's going to be finger pointing at Sagittarians going, you.
Blame them. Blame game.
Yeah, it is, because when Mars opposes your sun, it's like everybody's mad at you. And the Sagittarians, as a rule, don't care. But they need to be aware that their partners have some rights, and they need to kind of listen to what the partner's saying a bit about it, because the partner's got a point.
So you getting ready to take the high road a little bit on some stuff?
That would be a nice thing if they would do that, but I'd be surprised, because the words just fall out of a Sagittarian's mouth without them really thinking about it. For Capricorns, this energy is in the 6th house of work, health, and responsibilities. And Capricorns everywhere are going to be asked to wear 2 hats at a job, or to do 2 jobs, and not necessarily get paid right away. So it's the type of thing where if you do it until someone tells you not to, and then do it, and at the end of it, you should be able to consolidate 2 crummy jobs into one really decent one.
So which is ready to compartmentalize your time a little bit.
Yes, you're going to have. That's exactly right. You have to spend more time making sure you're doing your job, and then the additional other duties is what we used to call it in the military. For Aquarians, this energy is in the 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures, anything entertaining, anything that is fun. And the reason that is important is because we have a coach in the final 4. Is an Aquarian. So if you think things are going to go well for them, it'd be kind of nice to be Michigan State. I don't know that they're going to win it, but I know that. Yeah, exactly. That's a little one coming up. So for them, but it's fun, it's amusing, it's anything that's a good time is what Aquarians are up for. And then Pisces, the last sign, it is changing things up at home. There's problems at home, and Pisces haven't really wanted to deal with them, and they've got no choice. So the next 6 weeks, they're going to have to deal with it, whether that's people at home giving them a hard time or repairs at home. And my advice to Pisces is do it right the first time. Do it right, spend the money, get it fixed, because if you try to do it halfway, it's going to end up taking way longer and end up costing you more money. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the Zodiac.